Wait, is it me or you?
Hello, everyone. Craig DeLuz here, your host, welcoming you to the 100th episode of The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. And as you can see, even with 99 episodes behind us, we're still figuring this stuff out. But as you know, I do not do this program on my own.
Hey, everybody. My name is Mike Piwowarski, coming to you live from the dropping everything on me right here. Coming to you from the East Coast as we come to you on our 100th episode. And just so you guys are you're aware, something happened.
Yeah, dude, you're like all pixelated and stuff.
Hold on. Wait a second. Put me on pause. Hold on. Let's see what's going on. Wait a second. I see what's going on. Stand by. Wait one.
Your internet connection is
Hold on. I might flicker in and out. I'll be right back. Stand by. Here we go.
Oh, this is great. This is wonderful. Well, folks, hey, I'm Craig DeLuz. I'm your host here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to have Mikey log out and log back in. But so this is the 100th episode of The Rundown. I hate to tell you, Mikey, I'm looking at you behind the scenes and you're not good. You're not good. You're like frozen and stuck. This has just been kind of, our thing here on The Rundown, where it just seems like just as things start to get ready to flow, the internet, Webernet, the enemies that we have, whether it's at Google or YouTube or whoever these folks are, decide that they want to get all up in our business and mess things up. But now we've got back on the dapper, the handsome, let's put Mike. It's Mike.
All right, so a series of unfortunate incidents. That's what happened there. We had Craig. I had. Wait a second.
You switched cameras.
Hold on. Now my camera switched. Hold on. Let's switch back. We got the gremlins going on here. Hold on.
See, the only thing that's cool about this is normally it's my technology that is all messed up.
There we go.
Seriously. Normally I'm the one that's making all the mistakes. Not making all the mistakes, but the gremlins are usually in my stuff, but now they are in Mikey's stuff. There you go. Hold on to your raspberry beret for all for good measure.
So what I believe had happened was the computer was on the move this weekend, and when I plugged it back in, it automatically goes to Wi-Fi instead of the hardwire. So I had to recharge it as the hardwire, change the settings, but it did not want to do that, so it refused. No. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I've said it 3 times. I want to do it. So now I've got that back in place. So we look like we should be good there. The other one where we sat there staring at each other up front was, we usually say, okay, quiet for a couple of moments so we could pick up the live feed, and that popped up before we'd done that. So that's why we're standing there staring at each other for a moment, like, wait, are we live? Are we live?
Are we live? We're live. All right, we'll do it live.
That's it. F it, we'll do it live. So that's it. Yeah, then I dropped my phone on the keyboard. So I didn't even get a chance to start the timer, so I don't know if we're 2 minutes into this or we're already done.
We're about 5 minutes in, bro. We're about 5.
5 minutes into it? All right,
yes.
I'll start it now. With 5 minutes into it. All right.
Who might you be? I don't think you've introduced yourself, have you?
Oh, I did not introduce myself. I'm sorry. Hey, everybody. My name is Mike Wazowski. I am the co-host with the most from the East Coast. I will be with you here on the Rundown, doing this program with you for the 100th time here on the 100th episode celebration of the Rundown.
I don't think a lot of folks realize how much work goes into doing each one of these programs. And, people who we know who do weekly programs, they'll tell you how much work goes into it. So to do one every day, to be on here every day, talking about all the prep, all the technology, everything that goes into it, to me, that's a pretty big deal. And that's why I felt, I appreciate with Mike's encouragement, we're all snazzy today.
Another deal. It was kind of like, we'd planned for the 100th episode to be a tuxedo, or at least a suit and tie. I mean, Craig he didn't wear the tux, but he did wear a suit and tie, so I'll give him that. And but Craig forgot, so that's why we were kind of late
I
too. We
I did
sat down,
forget.
cameras came
I
on.
am not gonna lie. I did
Wearing a
forget. I was on a
t-shirt and a
film
do
shoot till
rag.
2 o'clock last night or this morning. Yeah. Anyway. I'm
You
full
had
of
a
excuses.
t-shirt.
I'm full of excuses. But Mike, we couldn't have asked for a better topic, a better opportunity, or have something to discuss than we have for today's show, could we?
Oh yeah, unless you're actually Afghani, then it's not so great a topic. For the rest of us, it makes a great story. It
Oh
makes a
yeah, oh
great
yeah. So
story. So
why don't you go ahead? I'm sure their heads have not been completely in the sand, but why don't you go ahead and let folks know what we're talking about?
well, as you know, yesterday was the I guess depending on which side of the time zone you're on is the fall of Kabul and the last fall of Afghanistan. Um, I know. I think it was about 2 months ago. I said, "Listen, it's going to take about 2 months. It's not going to take 2 years. This place is going to fall." No, no. We taught them this. We taught them that. And that crap. Listen, I was there for over a year, and that I believe President Trump described it the best when he said "shithole." So I was there for over a year, and I could tell you from day one up until the last day we left that you had the knowledge and the feeling that the moment Americans left and took our checkbooks with us, that the first guy with the big board with the nail in it was going to be the new emperor or king of Afghanistan. Uh, yeah, we spend trillions and billions of dollars training up their police, training up their military, but you always knew that they were there for the paycheck. The average Afghani was making something like $2 a month was the normal salary. We came in, started throwing $75 a month at them. So, all right, what the frick is going on?
Yeah, your camera just decided it was going to switch again.
Just all of a sudden.
So you were saying they were getting like what $2? You saying $2 a month?
Yeah, $2 to $3 a month. So immediately you start taking the military and the law enforcement and giving them $75 a month. So you're paying them, 15 times more than everybody else is making. So immediately they become the rich ones on the block. So now you got your cops in the military, the most rich. So they're not there for a sense of duty, for a sense of pride. They're there for the buck. They're going to follow the almighty dollar. Is what they were doing, and you just knew it. You knew it the way based on they did their policing, the way they did their military. It was just never going to last.
Yeah.
Add into that there is no national identity as being an Afghani. There's the different tribes of Afghanistan or tribes around Afghanistan that come in and roll through, and that's what you had. They were different tribal members that happened to live in different countries depending on the seasons and their jobs. It was never any "I am an Afghani." You never heard that. It was nothing like that at all. You did hear it from some of the city dwellers and city folks that got caught up in the democracy that we showed them and the capitalism that we showed them. But that can't be sustained without the law enforcement and military there to help protect and keep the order and the peace. And we knew that would never last.
Well, it's so true, Mike. And by the way, I think you're frozen up, bruh. But like I would, there's a couple of things. Number one, I think that people on all sides were interested in possibly wanting to get out of Afghanistan. But I think the thing that was that really kind of surprised people was just how unprepared we were, how unprepared the American government was for it to happen. I mean, literally, you had the president 3 days ago saying, "This is not Saigon. You won't see pictures of people climbing on the roof of the embassy being airlifted out by helicopters." And Mike, what did we see?
Listen, it just shows again that this administration has no freaking clue what's going on.
Well,
None whatsoever.
The funniest part is
no idea.
But Mike, you even had the reporter, the guy from CNN, who was like, they were asking him, do you, is this something that you anticipated happening? And the guy from CNN, the reporter's like, yeah, I've been telling you this for weeks. This is exactly what was going to happen. I mean, literally, when CNN is like saying, yeah, we told you this is what was going to happen. And yet, your administration is still caught flat-footed. And then on top of it, you have the president, instead of, this is probably one of the biggest stories in the last at least 25 years, right? You're telling me that you're not going to be available. You're not going to have a press conference or plan a press conference, something yesterday or today. It literally wasn't until this morning they announced, like, yeah, maybe we're going to have the president come out and say something.
Craig, I have no idea what's going on here with my my electronics today. So can't I just want to be able to participate. Come on, one more time.
You can participate, man. Just do you, man. Just whatever camera you see is on, just talk into that camera and until you get it straightened out.
Yeah, it's just changing on its own. Oh,
Yeah, it is what it is, folks. But the thing is that it reminds me of what Robert Gates said about President Biden. He said he has been wrong on. He's been on the wrong side of every major foreign policy decision that he's ever been involved in. And once again, this was no different. The President Trump had an exit plan, an exit strategy, and he had a way in which he was going to get out. But his whole idea of when he was going to get out was based on certain things had to be ready and had to be in place. Now, mind you, those things were probably never going to get in place. And I think if anyone was honest with the president would have known that was the case and that, chances are it wasn't going to happen. But unfortunately, they weren't honest with him. So we didn't know what was going to happen. And so in the end, we wound up with what we wound up with. Well, it looks like we've lost Mikey. Mike will probably be tuning back in. So, folks, you're just going to have to put up with Craig DeLuz until Mike returns. So, why don't we go ahead and why don't we move on to the next topic? Okay, on the next topic, we're dealing with the issue of a record increase in food stamps under Joe Biden. Now, this is something that's interesting because, you try not to blame, what goes on. I don't want to put this. Under Joe Biden, we have seen a record number of individuals who've applied for public assistance. And usually food stamps, that is something that's used to measure the level of poverty that people are in. Now, the question is, has poverty increased that much? Or has or just have we lowered the bar so much that more and more people than ever are able to apply and qualify for government assistance? And the fact is, we don't know which one it is. What we do know is that the standard has been dramatically decreased. That we do know. We do know that the economy has been doing poorly. Now, I think it kind of depends on who you're talking to or who you're looking at to determine whether or not it is or it is not doing poorly. I think that some people would say it's doing poorly. Some people would say that it's doing pretty good. I think it depends on if you're part of the investment class. Then the investment class, it's probably doing pretty well. In particular, if you invested in companies who have expanded, who have grown, whose footprint has increased during COVID. We're talking about companies like Walmart, companies like Target, companies like Amazon. These are folks who were still able to do business during COVID. Unfortunately, not everybody was able to do that. Not everybody was there. In particular, if you owned a small business, a ton of small businesses were not able to expand, were not able to grow, and unfortunately, the economy didn't do right by them, or it wasn't something that wound up working out for them. And that's unfortunate, but that's a lot of people. And there are a lot of people who work for these small businesses because keep in mind, small businesses are really what drive employment in these United States. That's just kind of the way it is. And so when you go and you shut down small businesses, right? When you go and you shut down small businesses, then you also wind up laying off a lot of people. And, we all know in these United States, we wound up, due to COVID, shutting down a lot of a lot of small businesses in a lot of areas, in particular places like California, places like New York, Washington, Oregon. Let's see. There's something that all of these places have in common. Oh, that's right. Democrats run all of these places. Funny how that works out like that, isn't it? But it is what it is. It is kind of how they do their thing. And it is, once again, it is unfortunate. And it would be nice Let me take a step back. If we stop and we consider, and by the way, the reason why I keep looking around is because I'm working on trying to get Mikey back on here. So please forgive me if I seem like I'm rambling a little bit. But the thing that I want you guys to try and get a hold of is that it was not the disease. It was not COVID that got in the way of businesses being able to open. It was government. It was government that got in the way. It was the government telling people that they would not be allowed to reopen their business, right? That's what if you want to talk about what really caused the economic pandemic or the economic crisis from COVID, it wasn't the disease itself. It was the politicians, because they didn't stop to say, okay, what's dangerous and what's not dangerous, right? No, they said what's vital or what's essential and what's not essential. And what's funny is you had small businesses that provided the same products, goods, and services as some of these big box retailers or places like Amazon, but they were forced to shut down, right? They were forced to shut down while, needless to say, the bigger businesses were able to keep their doors open. And that's what happens with a lot of regulation. A lot of these emergencies is smaller businesses are then put in a position where they don't have the resources to comply with a lot of this regulation. And bigger businesses, well, they generally are. And so you wind up with, well, once again, the bigger businesses are happy because guess what? They have competition. Competition is removed. Needless to say, going back to the issue right here, you wind up with people needing government assistance. Now, mind you, folks, that's our money. That's your money. This is when we go back to start thinking about whether it's the stuff that's being handed out, right? Whether it's the checks that are being sent out to everybody, whether they need them or not. You have the increase in food stamps now. Once again, really, whether people need it or not. And I'm not saying that there aren't people who need it. There are. But these are being sent to probably, I'm willing to guess, a lot of people who maybe don't need it. Well, folks, you and I are footing that bill. Not that you did not already know that, but I just figured you would appreciate me pointing it out. All right, let's move right along. It appears that there is another recall effort that is in place, that has started, and this one is of Captain Florida. That's right. Captain Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis is on they say the hot seat. It's not really a hot seat. They've got 35,000 signatures, which, by the way, is a small fraction of the number of signatures that would be needed. As a matter of fact, I don't even know. And this is why we need Mikey, because I don't even know if Florida has a recall. I don't even know if they have a recall law in Florida. It may just be this is an online petition that's, we just want to tell people how angry we are with Mr. DeSantis. But in the end, 35,000 signatures is nothing compared to the 1.2 million signatures that were required in order to be able to recall Gavin Newsom here in California. But it's just funny that in this particular news story, they're boasting about the dramatic increase in the number of signatures that they've obtained to recall Governor Ron DeSantis. And they've got a grand total of 35,000 signatures. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of signatures to me. I don't know about you, but at least in the state of California, you wouldn't even get out of the gate with 35,000 signatures. That wouldn't qualify you for nothing. That would qualify you for absolutely nothing. Okay, I don't know where Mikey is. I don't know if Mikey's trying to log back in. Mike, if you're watching this, I sent you another link, so all you got to do, send the link back in, and we can get you back on the program. Because as much as I love the sound of my own voice, not being facetious, but I enjoy the back and forth. I enjoy the dialogue, and I would love to get your commentary on whether or not Captain Florida actually has a chance of being recalled. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, Mikey. So if you get a chance, hit me up, brah. I'm here. Sent you a new link. Okay. All right, we're going to move on. Oh, gun rights group to train 4,000 women. So, Patrick, I see you there in the comments section there on the rundown. Thank you so much for tuning in. Patrick is going to be one of the trainers that's going to be with us, actually, there in Florida. Wait, hold on. Do I have him? Oh, my God, we have him back. Is this Mr. Piwowarski? Mikey? Oh, he's still getting his stuff together. But so this weekend, Mike and I are going to be heading to Detroit, Michigan, and we're going to be working with our good friend, Mr. Rick Ector of Legally Armed in Detroit. You know Rick because Rick's actually been on the program. He's one of our co-hosts. Did I not say Detroit, Michigan? I thought I said Detroit, Michigan, Pat. I could be wrong, but thank you for the correction if I was. But we're going to be going to Detroit, Michigan. And we're going to be working to help train 4,000 women on how to properly load, how to properly handle and shoot a firearm. You want to share some little bit on that, Mikey? Okay, I can see you, but I cannot hear you. Oh, these 100th episode, these 100th episode gremlins. I'm telling you, y'all thought we were having problems during the 99th episode, right? All of a sudden now on the 100th episode, things are just going crazy. But yeah, no, folks, it's going to be a fun event. So there's going to be trainers coming from all over the country. And so we'll be doing some interviews. We'll be having some folks on, and you'll have a chance to meet some of the folks that we get a chance to spend time with when we do this event. Last year was our first time going. Once again, trainers. Last year we did what, Mike? Almost 2,000? I still got no audio from you, Mikey. I still got no audio from you. I think he's cutting out again. But yeah, last year we did it was something like 1,938, something like that. Oh, see, I'm glad. See, Patrick, you need to be on here, co-host. I'm sure you wouldn't have the technological issues that Mike seems to be having there in Florida. You know what I think it is? I think it is that they are all attacking the folks there in Florida. What is it? Captain Florida, that's just the top of the one, but they all know that Mike being a firm defender of the Second Amendment, as well as an advocate for freedom and liberty there in Florida, when it comes to vaccines or when it comes to wearing masks. I guess they figured they're just going to take Mikey out too. That's just what it's going to be. I guess that's how it's looking. But no, it's going to be a fun event. So if you're anywhere in the area, if you are a firearms trainer and can be anywhere in the area, it's going to be taking place this Saturday and Sunday there in Detroit. If you just look up Legally Armed in Detroit on Facebook, you'll be able to find. Or there's a story, and we'll post a link of it to our Facebook page. But there's a story that was done on Rick and on the event. But you can come on out. Obviously, we need trainers. We could use trainers if you want to donate. Obviously, we have a lot of the ammunition that's donated, but a lot of it is purchased. So obviously, we can always use more contributions. And just to have some good folks to come on out and say hello. And all right, let me see if we got you now, Mikey. Do we have you and do we have sound? I still have no sound from you. Yeah. Tell you what I'm going to do, dude. Let me try this. I'm going to cut you off from my end and then add you back on and see what happens.